Good morning and welcome back to Stacy Travels. The next videos are going to be on my Thailand trip. I went to Thailand a couple years ago with my dad, and I have a friend that lives over there, so we were able to stay with him. It was an amazing trip. We had a great time. I'm so thankful I was able to spend that week with my dad and just really getting to bond with him. That was awesome. I can't wait to be able to do that again. So we flew into Bangkok and we stayed in Pattaya. So transportation and hotels, I don't have much information because we were fortunate enough to have my friend take us and just be our own personal tour guide of Pattaya. It was a beautiful, beautiful part of the Thailand. Here are the next couple of videos. Hope you enjoy, and remember, safe travels. Okay, so let's get started. So this video is about a trip I took with my dad. It was a 10-day trip to Thailand. I have a friend that lives in Pattaya, Thailand, and we were fortunate enough to stay with him and his cousin. We flew into Bangkok airport, and my friend met us at the airport, and we drove 2 hours south to Pattaya. He had a really cool 3-bedroom house, gated community with a pool. We didn't spend much time at the house, but it was great to have a nice place to come back to. Pattaya is located on the east coast of the Gulf of Thailand. It has so much to see and do. They have spectacular temples and beaches and restaurants and shopping centers and floating markets and elephants, and it's just a really cool town to visit. Getting around town is pretty easy, but again, we were fortunate to have an escort. Our first night there, we walked to this fabulous outdoor hot pan restaurant. It was buffet style. We would go and pick our meat and our vegetables to cook, and they brought us this cool little pan that you cook on. It was amazing. The juices from our food would drip into the boiling water, and it would make the best soup. This was my favorite restaurant to eat at the whole time I was there. We actually went twice. I would highly recommend it. This was the best way to start our vacation on our first night in Thailand, eating this amazing food. Our first full day in Thailand, we went down to Walking Street and then took a ferry over to Kalan Island. And it is absolutely beautiful. I did a whole video on just the island, so check that out. The island was a really cool island to go hang out for the day. After spending the day at the island, we came back and walked along the water and then went to explore a little bit more of Walking Street. Really enjoyed walking around Thailand with all of their crazy bird nest with their power and communication wires. Just crazy. Outdoor laundromats and carts overflown with goods. It was just a really cool area to walk around. Walking Street is an entertainment and a red light district in Pattaya. This area is a big tourist attraction, primarily for its nightlife. This area has restaurants and live music and beer bars and sports bars and go-go bars and lots of nightclubs. My favorite bar was the Ice Bar V20. They provide jackets if you need it because when you enter, it is very cold. They kept the bar at a constant 11 degrees Celsius. We stopped here for a few times to get a nice cold drink. It was absolutely a cool little bar to visit. The people were absolutely fabulous. I felt completely safe in this area. In some areas, there was a language barrier, but they were very patient with me. One of the temples that we visited in Pattaya was the Sanctuary of the Truth. This temple was absolutely beautiful, and the reason it was built was even more beautiful. It is completely constructed of carved wood. Construction started in 1981 by a businessman and is scheduled to be completed in 2050. It is always under construction. Even while we were there, we saw several different people there hand carving while we could watch them hand carve. It was spectacular. We did have to wear hard hats because it was a construction zone, but it is a beautiful temple. Visited Buddha Mountain. The image of a Buddha was placed onto the side of this mountain in 1996 to commemorate His Majesty, the King of Thailand's Golden Jubilee. The 109-meter tall and 70-meter wide image was carved into the rock and then marked out in gold. The image was designed using computer software and later using a laser. This was done entirely at night so that the light of the laser could be seen more clearly. During the day, the image would be fixed and adjusted, and then finally they used gold to complete it. It was absolutely breathtaking and stunning. You just look so small against this huge structure. It was beautiful, so definitely worth a go-see. Last full day in Pattaya, we toured around the city and went up to the monument of President Suphanavon in Pattaya. This statue was massive. It overlooked the whole bay of Pattaya. It was really cool. We purchased fireworks and went down to this little brick building that you would let off fireworks in honor of the president. Then we drove over to overlook the Pattaya sign that you could see from the bay as you're coming into Pattaya. It was a very cool day to end our last full day in the city. We look forward to going back again someday and touring more of Thailand. There is some absolutely beautiful areas. Had a great time with my dad, had a great time with my friends, and I can't wait to go back and see him again.